writer. Here with reaction, he is the host of Ask Dr. Drew on Rumble, the one and only Dr. Drew Pinsky. Dr. Drew, this is not my wheelhouse. I'm having a hard time understanding what part of assassination people aren't getting here.
Right. No part. There is moral depravity on full display here. We are truly morally upside down. And, you know, Jimmy asked the question, I'm not sure what this means about us. I am sure about what it means about us. We are sick. This is the ultimate scapegoating expression. The fact is that when damaged people get together with a grievance, they will scapegoat. The narcissism gets focused on one victim. We have done it with cancellation. I said it when cancellation was writ large that Robespierre would be proud of this. The guillotines are out. Well, now we're going all the way to murder. We're not just doing it figuratively or online. We're actually going all the way to murder and then signing off on it. And Elizabeth Warren should be ashamed of herself. This is a display of a complete lack of understanding of basic humanity. By the way, these people that are making the issue of this young man are not just exploiting the man who is dead, they are also exploiting this kid who has a clear, severe psychiatric problem. You are going to find that the hallucinogens that he was doing in an attempt to manage his pain crisis led to some sort of psychotic syndrome, and that, much like with the Unabomber, created the preoccupation, created the behavior, created the violence. This is not someone to be admiring. And by the way, in terms of the women wanting to go after him and be with him, it has a name. It's a pathology. It's called hybristophilia. That is a pathological impulse. So top to bottom, there is sickness in full display because of this poor young man's behavior.
So walk through this logic with me. So somebody doesn't like your advice, oh, get rid of Drew Pinsky. And, you know, after all, there's only so much bad advice that Drew Pinsky should be allowed to give, or bad political opinions that Hannity can give, or only so much bad service that I'm going to take at a restaurant. And if you take it to its ultimate conclusion here, you don't like the service, you don't like the company, you don't like the person, what? You assassinate him, and that person, you know, then becomes a folk hero?
Thank you, Elizabeth Warren. And the reality is, if you want to know how irrational this is, how much is that insurance company going to change because of the assassination of its CEO? Not at all. Not one bit. I have been fighting the insurance industry my entire career. I have no sympathy for the policies, but their policies are based on the law. And the legal system and the legislatures have to do something to change the way this happens. The insurance company is just a business doing what it does. And yes, it's egregious. And yes, when this happened, I thought, oh boy, it could be a fed-up patient, a family member that died, or they're blaming the family member. Even though I knew it was sick, people can have motivation based on their grievance, even when they're ill. Now, this kid had built a whole case of grievance around anybody in positions of authority. And to sign off on that being morally appropriate behavior as a way to deal with your frustrations with a business, we will unravel completely. I tell you, Sean, Robespierre would be so proud of this reign of terror. Let's remember, his committee was called the Committee for Public Safety. Safety uber alles. We have just been through a whole phase of the mothership taking care of us, the government needing to keep us safe, and now they're signing off on violent scapegoating. This is really disgusting, reprehensible stuff. When the history books are, listen, everybody, examine how you respond to this. If you are applauding it, think about what would have happened. You think if you'd been around in 1930 in Germany, you'd be standing up to the Nazis? No, you would not. You would be a prison guard. That's what this is telling you.
Wow, powerful commentary. You know, years ago, the Cato Institute put out a book called Patient Power, Healthcare Savings Accounts. This guy I know in Wichita, Kansas, he built out a concierge service, $50 a month. You put that with catastrophic care that would take care of the, God forbid, heart attack, stroke, cancer, bad accident, with a high deductible, as high as you can afford. And guess what? You're fully covered. There are ways to have better health care. Nobody ever wants to talk about it. Obamacare, millions lost their doctors, their plans, and 40+% of the country has one Obamacare exchange option. That's not working either. And I predicted that at the time, but that again, that's a separate argument for another day. Last word. Go ahead.
Yes, but let's remember, though, insurance was supposed to be insurance against financial catastrophe, not an entitlement. Not an entitlement.
Yeah.
You could pay the $35 for the doctor visit or the $70. Most people can afford that.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Drew, crazy world we live in. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.